I briefly spoke about this not that long ago, how the original X-Men animated series from the 90s was more tamed and PG in comparison to what we have now in the continuation of X-Men 97. So we're going to go ahead and talk about this. So before I get started, you know what to do. Name's Ronnie. Welcome back to News to Astonish. Join my Discord, follow me on my social media. Everything's down below in the description box. So X-Men 97 directors discuss why the Marvel series needed a TV-14 rating. And it's true, and it's definitely warranted. Also, the director really goes into a really good explanation as to why it needed it, and how it's not oversaturated with violence. But it's just one thing that I definitely noticed, especially with episode 5, being like the most violent, and I guess you can say a bit gory, out of all the episodes that we've gotten so far, and pretty much out of the entire series. Because when you look back to the original series, and if you were in the 90s watching these shows, like Spider-Man the Animated Series, like X-Men the Animated Series, you would know that the violence was just tamed and just kept to a bare minimum. They didn't allow stabbing or any stab wounds or gore or blood or anything like that. Maybe they had a couple of boo-boos, like I said before, but still, like, it's just interesting how we've kind of evolved and have grown as a modern society, which I really hate that term, modern audience, modern society. TV and films have really changed when it comes to ratings. Like old movies that were PG actually contained a lot of adult stuff in them, whereas PG movies are tamed nowadays. And it's vice versa for TV shows, where TV PG, now like we're at TV-14, and comic book shows and adaptations are anywhere from TV-14 to mature. They're no longer PG. I mean, except if you look at maybe kid versions of those shows on Disney or something like that, then yeah, those are like G and PG. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the article here. So X-Men 97 directors discuss why the Marvel series needed a TV-14 rating, and it says here that the directors Jake Castorena and Emi Yonemura recently explained why Marvel Studios' revival of X-Men the Animated Series needed its mature rating. And by mature, I don't mean like M mature, and they don't mean that. They mean mature as in, mature for audiences to tolerate and to enjoy as well, because we can handle those things. So in an interview with IGN about the 5th episode of X-Men 97, Remember It, which is actually my favorite episode right now, Castorena and Yonemura discussed how the TV show's TV-14 rating allowed them to bring actual consequences to the animated continuation that were sometimes absent in the original series, which was rated TV-Y7. And one thing I'd like to point out is that something that the original 90s series, and this is talking about every 90s animated series for like that were geared towards kids, those shows never actually treated children like idiots. I feel like a lot of shows these days and games treat us like morons. We're not stupid. It's okay to be like realistic with us. It's okay to dish out the reality and throw it in our faces like that. And I think that's what the show is doing, and that's what the show's continuing to do, and they're executing it effectively and perfectly, in my opinion. And it shows. The ratings show as well. So just because we can doesn't mean that we should, as far as violence or showcasing stuff, but because also when you show too much gory graphicness, it tends to desensitize the audience. Castorena said on deciding how much violence to show in X-Men 97. Ideally, our goal is to not have the audience become desensitized to the violence, but to be emotionally exhausted from it, to live in that true realm of how characters are living with it. Castorena continued, I dare say it wasn't a challenge because, first and foremost, story over everything. If it doesn't visually serve the narrative, whether it's violence or what we show or what we don't show, it doesn't go in. What does the story need for the moment, and when and where is that line? That's what we work together as a team to figure out. Moore also pointed out to the changing times as another reason why TV-14 rating was warranted, explaining, I remember thinking at the time, even for the 90s, and I know that you look back at it now and it feels very PG by comparison, but I remember thinking that this has high stakes, which is true. I mean, it's a series about mutants fighting each other and also protecting the people that hate them and fear them. So she added, and I think for a lot of people, especially for our modern community, our tastes are different and we can be a little bit more adult and respect that TV-14. So X-Men 97 is winning over new and old fans. X-Men 97 set 1 year after the series finale of X-Men the Animated Series, Graduation Day, revisiting the iconic era of the 1990s as the X-Men, and a band of mutants who use their uncanny gifts to protect a world that hates and fears them. Since it premieres on March 20th, the Disney Plus animated series has received received glowing reviews from both critics and fans, and holding a 98% critic score and 93% score respectively on the review aggregate website Rotten Tomatoes. X-Men 97 has already been renewed for a second season, and while a third season has been teased by Marvel executive producers. So the first 5 episodes of X-Men 97 are available to stream on Disney+. So this article was actually, written just shortly before the premiere of episode 6, which was actually yesterday, and I actually managed to watch it late last night, and I enjoyed that episode too. That episode was phenomenal. I'm not going to go ahead and get into spoilers about that one, but if you've seen the first 5, you got to let me know what you think. Watch episode 6 because that one's pretty exciting too. And a group of other types of popular Marvel characters, at least popular in the sense that they're popular in the MCU, make an appearance in episode 6, which was actually surprising to me. So it was really good to see that. Anyway, you let me know your thoughts about this. Are you excited about X-Men 97 and at least completing the series? Because so far it's been a real banger, and it's something that the MCU, Marvel Studios, really needed. The writers really understand this set of amazing characters, the X-Men. They really do get it. They did a really good job writing the characters out, fleshing them out. The relationships are amazing. The love triangles and the drama and everything is incredible. The writing's just superb and spectacular in every single way. And I definitely encourage you to check this series out because it's something that it's something incredible that Marvel Studios hasn't really done in quite a bit, honestly. And at least we needed this ever since the last 5 years. And I'm talking about Endgame. We haven't really had anything really pop and stand out really well as much as X-Men 97. This is like a new breath of fresh air, honestly, and it's awesome. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the notifications so y'all don't miss anything. Dislike the video if you did, and as always, I will see you all in the next comic panel.